I never expected Güüs to turn out to be what it was. I don't know what I expected. All I know is that on the page, that's the place where you need to put the most creatively bold idea down. And there's one sentence in there that I think just freaked the design department out the most, and that was, the couch suddenly transforms into a 10-foot tall squid. I never expected in any reality that that would ever happen. But my idea was, let's put down the boldest idea, and then it's up to everyone to come up with a creative solution for that.
My first impression of Güüs was just like, are we actually doing this script? But of course, for me, the squid was the best part because it's literally the only script that I've ever read on stage with the squid as its main villain. I remember the first meeting with Joe, actually. I said, so you've read the script, or at least the pages that pertain to Güüs. Is this even achievable? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. I was like, oh God, if he's that laissez-faire, either he literally hasn't read the script or he's really confident. And luckily it was confidence.
We get some pretty unusual inquiries, but this was a good one. It's essentially an inflatable suit with like an aluminium frame. So Ginny's harnessed into like a backpack, and she's got essentially like bike handles on the front with bike brakes that operate the eyes and the mouth. And then there's an eyebrow mechanism, and then there's all the tentacles.
She carries it all herself, and then she has our VCA students to puppeteer the other 6 tentacles. But of course, the really hard bit was Güüs pushes up through a couch and transforms. The couch has to be able to pull apart by humans and then inflate within 5 seconds, so we don't sit there going, well, that looks appalling. It literally has to be like, whoosh, here I am. That took a lot of tech time, but with a combination of sound, lighting, and incredible skill, it happens.
Güüs has been one of the most challenging and interesting puppets we've made. One of the most interesting ones for sure. We had about 5 makers on the Güüs team. It took us about 2 months. 70 metres worth of material, and there's a lot of heat treated fabrics, and quite a process.
Preacher comes out of this pops down. That gets flipped over that way. It has been a lot of fun. It's been mind teasing.
This is a first, a monster puppet. It's never been done before, so you've really got to make it up as you go along and figure it all out. If you get it any perfect show, you've got to have blood.
So this is to simulate a slit wrist spraying against a wall.
Having Virginia Gay play Güüs was the cornerstone of the production. I knew that she would have the comic chops to be able to pull Güüs off.
I just love stuff that values the weirdness in life and takes risks with art. So this was perfect. And then we did the workshop, and I was like, this is the happiest rehearsal room I've ever been in. Sign me up. The thing that I love about Eddie's work is that it's so much about the world as we know it, and it's so much about middle-class manners and all of that stuff, and it's so scathing, but it's also got these comedy beats in it that I hugely recognise from the kind of comedy that I grew up in. And everybody is just smashing out some incredible bits of comedy, incredible musical skills.
We're putting on a musical, and we want people to have a good time. But at the same time, we're exposing something pretty dark, and we're putting our finger right on our raw nerves.
My favourite line of Güüs's is when Güüs first appears, and it says, "I've been here for hours, hiding under all these cushions," which is a weird callback to the first scene about how nobody can say Güüs's name. And they're all saying Güüs, Güüs. And Güüs is like, Güüs, Güüs. I just think there's something in Güüs's head. Güüs is just not quite clear about how U's are pronounced. I also like the literal next line that Güüs has, which is, I was going to reveal it myself a little earlier, but you guys just do not shut up. In the end, I was like, oh man, I simply have to do it. They're literally never going to shut up.
This has definitely been the most involved creative process. Every single person working on the show, every designer, Eddie himself, and the cast have been the loveliest, hardest working, most joyful people. Everyone is working at the top of their game and with utter love and joy, and we have had a dream time. But it has taken every bit of my imagination.
It's opening night tonight, so I'm stoked to see Güüs finally on stage, under lights with all the team. It's been a fantastic journey, working with everybody, all the creatives and the backstage crew and everything, and props and all the stuff has come together now for tonight, and it's been a great experience to see it evolve from a drawing or a sketch to on stage in the flesh, so it's cool and excited.
I think this production, the end of our 2017 year, has brought us all together as a company and made us really proud of the scale we can work on and the uniqueness. So what I would say I'm most looking forward to tonight is revealing what MTC is capable of in creating new, bold theatre.